Okay, we are just about ready for the next run. One of our big marquee runs of the marathon, if you ask me. Dark Souls. Love this game so much. I honestly spend most of my time on Twitch as a viewer watching not just this game, but speedruns of this game, so it's always great to have it. Got my friend RegoleSlayer running any percent. And just real quick, I wanted to mention I have a bit of a PlayStation connection to this game myself. I played this game first on PS3. I do have the PC version now. And I remember I had this horrible pink third party controller that you really couldn't aim a bow with at all. And it made everything just horrible. And I still got the platinum trophy for the game, and I'm pretty proud of that. So for right now, I will go ahead and throw it over to Regal. Regal, take it away. By the way, I will enter, if you're looking at stream chat, I will give you the incentive name in stream chat. It's Ryland Hand. I'll give you the spelling. Take it away, Regal, right now. Take it away, Regal, right now.
Hey guys, I'm Regal. I'm gonna be running any percent for you today. This is one of the easier categories out there. We usually recommend this for beginners. It's not one I usually run, but it's a pretty nice one to show off for a marathon. It's not too long either. Just to introduce the run, so we used to do any percent like years ago just by killing all the Lord Soul bosses, and then offering them to the Lord Vessel, and then going to Gwyn, just the normal way. But since about 2017, we've been using a wrong warp to skip into the final area of the game. And back in November, there was another form of the wrong warp discovered called a homeward wrong warp, which saved about 8-9 minutes off the run. So it's, like I said, a pretty short run nowadays. But hopefully it'll still be entertaining to you guys. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Pyromancer, because we want the armor and the fireball spell for some glitches that we're gonna be performing during the run, and black firebombs to help us kill some enemies a little bit faster. All right, I'm ready to go. If you're ready on the timer, I'll start on go, I guess. If we're ready to run, even though it says Dark Souls 3 for the game. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. All right, let's do this. First off, the Asylum. It's my favorite part of the run. So first thing I'm going to draw attention to is some movement stuff. See those toggles I do right there as I start to sprint? That's going to save like a very small amount of time over the course of the run. But what it does basically is it accelerates you to full speed a little bit faster. Like it's a very small time save, but it adds up over the course of the run. And here's the first boss fight. We're gonna run to a certain spot and just start tossing firebombs at this demon dropping down in front of us. And we're gonna roll this attack and finish him off. And that's it. Okay, so coming up here, we're gonna talk to Oscar to get the keys to leave the asylum. And in a lot of categories, what you would do is you would do a quit out near the wall to break the wall, to skip the boulder coming down, and it saves just a small bit of in-game time. But since we actually need to go upstairs, we're just gonna not do that, because the boulder's gonna be there anyways when we try to go back upstairs. So we're just gonna do it normally. The reason we need to go upstairs is because we want the fireball spell, because we're gonna be using that to execute the homeward wrong warp at the end of the run. And And here's a cool trick. You want to roll here to bait this hollow out. These guys can be really annoying. Alright, we got past pretty decently. And that's the asylum. And normally you would quit out on this door here during, Right, okay, yeah, the glove. Yes, thank you, Allie. Not the spell. We need the glove. So normally you quit out on that door to save a little bit of in-game time, but we're just going to skip doing the door quit outs because they don't save real time. And there's a cool trick right there. So usually there's a thing that appears on the screen that says, like, you need to sit at bonfires to level up in Lordran, but if you pull up the key settings menu, it just skips it completely, and you can immediately start sprinting, which saves a little bit of time. And this is actually one of the scariest parts of the run, so I am gonna be healing if I take any hits, just so I don't die here. And here, the first glitch that we're gonna do is coming up at this merchant we need to visit, because we need to buy some things first of all that we'll need for the rest of the run. We'll also be doing a glitch called prompt swap. So buy some arrows, a rapier, club, short bow, and then prompt swap the residence key, because we don't have the master key, but we need to get the gold pine resin from behind the door up here before tourists. We didn't have enough souls to actually buy the residence key, so we used a glitch called prompt swap, which basically we used the souls required to buy the orange soapstone and moved the prompt to a different context, which is the next menu, the keys menu, and used that to actually buy the residence key for only like, what, 100 souls or something? And so we did it just to get this resin, because this resin is going to be very helpful for this first few fights. Or this first fight right here, and then another enemy right after, because we need to get a tail cut right after this. So, yeah, I'm just going to heal for safety here. This is Taurus Demon. So we're going to buff our Reinforced Club. And start with a jump attack on him. And we're going to use staggers plus a firebomb to try to finish him off pretty quickly. And that's it. Alright, so I actually have a save file prepared for this next part, because there's a chance that this doesn't really go well if I get unlucky. And it's pretty bad if this doesn't go well, so I do have a save file prepared, just in case. What we're gonna do is do some cool movement here to try and get this dragon's tail cut. So if you played this game casually, you know that if you cut this dragon's tail, you can get a weapon called the Drake's Sword, which is pretty strong in the early game, but a lot of people casually just shoot his tail from below the bridge, and it's not very fast to do it that way, so we do some pretty cool movement there to cut it off really fast. That went smooth, so that's good. Sometimes the dragon will just fly up and it ruins the whole thing, and it's bad. Alright, so here we're coming up to the first skip, called Sin's Gate Skip. But first I'm going to actually grab this elevator for safety, just in case things go wrong. So we can actually take the elevator if we die, because it'll send us back to Firelink, but we can just get back here quickly. Like, getting back here is kind of a nightmare if I, like, die during the skip or something. Alright, so we're going to quit out here, because we got an enemy chasing us. We want to de-aggro them. And we're going to bait this one hollow down to us, and we're going to try to parry him on a specific spot to where we're going to activate... Okay, there he is. We're going to activate a death cam, but just to where we're not going to hit the kill box. There it is. And so what this is going to do, it's going to prevent any new assets from being loaded. And right now, the Sin's Gate, which is normally closed because I haven't rang the bells yet, it's going to be it's not going to be loaded. And in this state, the game, like I said, isn't going to load any new assets. So we have to move in this weird camera while we do it. But when we run through, if you manage to get there properly by pathing there correctly, you can just walk right past the gate. And we need to rest at that bonfire because we need to get back here later, so we have to take it. One annoying thing about this is that hollow can actually prevent you to from sitting there, and then you have to quit out and do the skip over again. It's really annoying. Yeah, this is a pretty like ubiquitous skip in Dark Souls speedrunning. It's really cool. It like completely changed how the game is run. All right, so we're in Sins really fast. We're just gonna be making our way through here, pretty comfy. This area, even though if you're playing casually, it can be kind of a nightmare. For speedrun, it acts the same way every time, so it's actually a pretty comfy area to run through. And this is the move swap glitch that we're gonna. It's a bread and butter glitch that we're gonna be using for pretty much the entire run. What I did there is I did a jump, and then I queued up two-handing my bow, because this game uses action queuing for like everything. And we can abuse the action queuing by queuing up the bow and then swapping out to another weapon before the action is finished. And so now we have a weapon two-handed in our offhand, which is normally not possible. And so what happens is the game doesn't have anything registered for the running attack, rolling attack, and plunging attack for a weapon two-handed in your offhand, because normally the bow is the only thing you can two-hand in your offhand. So it's going to take those from the other weapon that you have, which is the rapier. So we basically gave the Drake sword the rapier's running attack, which hits twice, and it's really fast, and it's pretty overpowered. So yeah, done with Sins, pretty easy, or at least the bottom part. We have Iron Golem coming up, and this is a pretty tricky fight to do. I would say this is one of the harder, like, boss fights in this run. Like, maybe this is probably the second or first hardest boss fight, depending on who you ask. Hopefully it goes well. That's Bob. He's really annoying, but he was nice to us there. So we need to land 7 hits on this guy to stagger him. That's 2. 4. 6. And 1 more. Perfect. Alright, now he's staggered. Just 2 more attacks and he's gonna fall. Alright. And already in Anor Londo. Okay, so normally in a lot of routes, what you would do here at the beginning is you would go straight to this first bonfire. But no, you shouldn't do that in this run because it's just slower, because you don't need this bonfire, but we're going to take it for safety. Because if I die, we're gonna be taken really far back. So we're just going to grab it for safety. Because Anor Londo can be kind of a scary place to run through. There's just enemies chucking things at you the whole time. It's not, definitely not unheard of to die here. Alright, so we're going to grab this elevator and jump off of it as early as we can. You don't want to ride it all the way down. Do some cool parkour here. And here's the part where we'd also, like, if I was going for a PB, I wouldn't heal here, but Anor Londo can be scary. Like, you can actually get hit on this ladder in particular by these painting guardians with a dagger, and not really anything you can do about it. And it'll just kill you if you don't heal. So yeah, we're just gonna play it safe through here. Alright, painting guardians being pretty nice. Cool. Alright, we're gonna equip the Drake Sword here, because it can help us get past the upcoming Silver Knight section. But yeah, just running through Anor Londo pretty normally here. For the this part right here is not that scary, although this guy's being a memer. Dude, move! What? Alright, not that scary unless this gargoyle acts like that. Alright, so this is another scary part, is these Batwing demons can throw lightning at you while you're running down here, so I gotta listen for audio cue. Okay, they didn't throw one there. Okay. Alright, this is the last kind of scary part. Alright, we should be able to bait this guy right off. There we go. Alright, so here's actually a cool thing about any percent now. Normally taking this bonfire right here is just slow, but it's actually fast in this route. So we can just take it and not even feel bad about it in case we die to ONS. We're gonna get 18 endurance and then the rest into strength, so we can two-hand the weapon that we're gonna be using for the rest of the run, the Dragon Tooth. And the Dragon Tooth is really going to show off the power of move swap, because it's a big, fat weapon. Does a lot of damage, but it's normally really slow. However, the move swap allows you to basically sidestep that restriction. Warp back to the bonfire, and then continue our way on to the boss. And it wouldn't be all that uncommon to die to this next boss, especially in any percent. But hopefully it goes well. If I do die, at least I have this bonfire that's like right nearby, is the thing. And I'm gonna do a safety heal here just to be at full HP. Because there are a few attacks that you can survive at full HP. Gonna do the move swap again, and we'll see what openings we get, because the opening's gonna be really important. Okay, the walk opening. This one's okay. It's like mediocre. Well, Smo's really far away. Smo just noped out of there. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so Smo's gonna open with the shovel. With Smo, we're gonna just stun lock him all the way down. He can jump away and... yeah, like that. He poises through your attack. But it's not too big of a deal. Alright, one more hit and he should be down. Alright, here we go. We're gonna hopefully make this elevator here. Nice. Missing that elevator... it's really easy to miss. You want to be close to it whenever you kill Smo, because whenever you miss it, you lose like 8 seconds. So you don't want to miss it. Alright. So we're going to shoot Guinevere here to get the Lord Vessel from her. Talking to her is really slow. So we're going to shoot her to not have to talk to her. And then dupe a bone and warp out. Alright, so here we're gonna go to Firelink just to rest. So this will be our bonfire. Oh, wait. Warped to the wrong place. Forgot, I took the Anorlando bonfire. Usually that option isn't on there. So I have to go down one. Okay. We're gonna warp to Undead Parish and then go straight to Gargoyles for our next boss. Now that we've taken care of ONS and we've gotten the Lord Vessel, the run is just focused around ringing the 2 bells so we can get access to the Firelink altar through Framped. And then after that is the end of the run. So yeah, this is gonna be, this is like the end game already. All right, so this is kind of an annoying part. This Balder Knight on the stairs can really troll you. Okay, we got him. And here's another boss that's really good with move swap with the Dragon Tooth. So normally you would fight this boss earlier on if you didn't do Sin's Gate skip. So you'd be fighting them probably with, you know, a much early game weapon. The Dragon Tooth is like a mid game weapon, and we're going to be move swapping it. So it's going to really show you how powerful move swap can be on an early game boss like this. Crap. I messed up my sprint, but it doesn't really matter. They're pretty easy. Alright, so here on these ladders, we're gonna start setting up our equipment for the next part of the run. We need the specific like weight setup in order to perform a glitch called air rolls. You need a very precise weight load in order to execute them. So we have on the Pyromancer armor, which is one of the reasons we started as Pyromancer. And then we have the short bow and the Drake sword on, and then we also need to equip the hilt whenever we get to the part we're going to do air rolls. But first, we're going to be doing a skip called Blighttown Skip, which is really difficult and tricky and kind of complicated to explain, but basically we're going to be doing some very specific movement setups here to exactly set up in a way that we're going to clip out of bounds without getting too technical with it. So we're going to perform a transition clip and in a very specific spot, and we set up the location that we're going to fall through the floor with that bow aim that we did there. We land on this seam after we clip through. And then we're going to do another aim setup here. While zoomed in, roll, backstep, or backstep roll other way. Land down here, and then we have to perform this very difficult seam walk. This is about a pixel wide, and it takes a whole lot of practice to get good at this. But we didn't fall at all. All right, then we have the equip load, and then we just roll in air, and that's the air roll trick. And we're already in Quelaag's domain. Didn't have to step foot in Blighttown at all. So we're gonna do a move swap, and hopefully Quelaag acts nice to us. I attacked a little late there, so I didn't get the double hit. I knew you were gonna jump away. A double? Alright. So now we're on our way to the end of the game. But first we need to, ring this bell. And then we're going to warp back to Firelink, and we're going to talk to Petrus. And we're going to buy a Homeward the spell. And a talisman to cast it. And we're going to be doing a glitch called a spell swap. So what we'll do is basically cast Homeward with the animation of casting Fireball. And what that allows us to do is that even though we've cast the spell, we can still move around which normally when you cast Homeward, you can't move around, like, until you warp. You don't have any time to move. And in that small bit of time we have to move, we're gonna rest at the bonfire, with our last bonfire being the Lord Vessel. And that is going to execute a wrong warp, skipping all the way to the end of the game. So we're gonna go down here, rest here. First we have to attune Homeward. I'm gonna go to Undead Parish. Oh, I forgot, I need to equip the talisman. Okay. Nice, first try. Let's go. And here we are, at the end of the game. So, can someone tell me the, incentive for the ending? Because we're basically on a victory march here. Dark Lord ending. All right, cool. Yeah, and this is the appropriate time to post your Franker Z's, everybody. And hopefully Gwyn doesn't troll us. Gwyn can be a memer in this route because I'm going to be mid-rolling and not doing that much damage to him. And move swap Gwyn is not really that consistent anyways, but hopefully it'll go fine. If anything goes wrong, I'll just quit out and redo the fight. Just for safety. But I think I got a lot of extra time on my estimate, so even if I die, we can do it all over again and still be okay. Okay, alright, well, that's exactly the thing that could go wrong. Yeah. Alright, so we need to redo it. That's okay, though. It's alright. Yeah, if he since you're like mid-rolling and stuff, if he does that fast attack right there, there's really not anything you can do about it. It's okay though. Let's see if we can get another first try here. Nope. If he does it to me again, though, it's gonna be kind of a troll. Yeah, that's still pretty quick. Like, this wrong warp is really not that difficult compared to the previous one, which honestly, the previous one wasn't that bad with a lot of practice on it. This one, though, is like just really simple. And you get really fast retries. So all you do is you try to cast the fireball spell, and on the same frame that you cast it, you press up on the D-pad, and then the next frame you cast Homeward. So it's like 2 frame perfect inputs, but they're not like difficult frame perfect. And like I said, it's really quick to retry. Although there is a version of it that, like, how the remaster does it is, like, really difficult or really annoying. But we're not playing the remaster, thankfully. Okay, Gwyn. Be nice. I'm gonna quit out. Didn't do my running attack. Oh, this run's gone so well up until here. There we go. From here, oh my god. We should be able to stun lock him. Missed the last hit. All right, let's do it again then.
You sorry.
Yeah, you sorry. Huh? And I wasn't expecting Gwyn to give so much trouble. I could have done the fast roll route for safety. I just didn't think it would be a big deal. But we'll get him. Don't worry. Yeah, I mean this, like I was saying on the first attempt, this is not a consistent fight. So this can definitely happen, but happening twice is kind of annoying. Although, like, really, I had him in that second attempt. I just missed the last double hit for the stagger, and I tried to quit out, but he got me. Gosh, dude. I'm choking so hard. It isn't helping that I'm not getting the double hit on the first attack. Yeah, I'm missing it like every time. God. I've never had this much trouble with this. It's okay. I just can't get that double hit, man. Jeez. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's been a good run up until this.
You sorry.
It would be a lot easier if I didn't miss the double hit at the beginning every time. Because, like, what you want to do is you want to land that first rolling attack. And then the rest of the fight, you have a one-hit stagger on him. As long as you land both hits on your move swap. But I've been missing the first hit on the that first move swap, like, every single time. But I mean, you can still do it even then. But I've been also messing up. Like, well, yeah, Gwyn can just do the fast attack on the beginning. That's really the scary part. There we go. Oh my gosh, dude. Gosh. I get it, and then I screw up. Oh man, this is train wreck. Well, guess we're doing this. I'm sorry, this is awful. Alright, well at this point, I'll just quit out if I don't get the double hit on the beginning. Well, if this was parry Gwyn, it'd be a lot easier. Want to summon me? Yeah, this is Nubis-like, but not quite the same. Because it's not parrying Gwyn, which is a lot easier to do. Which I really can't parry Gwyn, because I don't have any setup for it. I don't even have a shield, so I wouldn't be able to block his fast attacks. Alright, so if I don't get a double hit at the beginning, I'm just gonna quit out. Which, like, I've only gotten the double hit, like, a few times. I don't get it, man. Getting that double hit's so hard. There we go. That's how you do it. All right. All right. So that's a quit out there as you kill him. And what it's going to do, it's going to warp me to the very beginning of the area and immediately trigger the final cutscene. There it is. We got him. So, yeah, sorry that was pretty rough ending, guys. But the rest of the run was pretty good.
We are here to serve your highness.
No, I'll look at the IGT. It's not a big deal. Yeah, that was fun. That was like awful ending.
True dark be cast upon the world.
That Gwyn fight is not very fun, but it shouldn't have been that bad.
Returns.
Shouldn't have been that bad. Alright, let's check the in-game time. 34:55. Not very good. Almost all of that was just Gwyn. Okay, well, I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Gwyn fiasco. But yeah, that was fun either way.
I agree, Regal. That was a lot of fun. And